Hello, welcome. It's oh, let's just see. Is this recording? Stop. Yeah, it is recording. Okay, let's just splash right into this as per usual. This is End here. We're going to do the video update for this week. Righty. I'm just going to jump into it. I'm unprepared, and this is off the cuff. Why you don't script your videos in there? No, I don't. Okay, this is Eurodollar. Again, let's go back to the daily chart. You can see this long drawn out triangle, AB, wave C top, wave D. Well, the triangle is what I'm kind of working with right now. Main reason being this, again, minor contraction triangle within here, and that does suggest a three-wave move rather than a rally up to that alternate B wave high here. Pushing the boundaries a little bit, we do seem to be hitting pretty significant resistance right now. Okay, so if we're making a C wave top, then we should head lower in 3 waves, make a D wave low. And the target for that is down around this B wave, this previous B wave internal triangle. So it's about 107, 108 area. So that's expecting a 1,000-point drop over the next month or so. It's been a long topping process. We've pretty much gone sideways for over a month, probably 5 weeks now. And with a bit of luck, we are creating an impulse wave to the downside. Certainly the short-term pattern is pointing that way. We've got what looks like a 5-wave pattern lower, and then expanded flat wave. It's either a wave 2 or a wave B. For the moment, I'm just kind of sticking with this ABC drop in wave A, and we'll just see how that plays out. I mean, if we get a serious acceleration next week lower, that might fit a wave 3 rather than a wave C. But for the moment, yeah, the 3-wave decline is sufficient. So for next week, now just when I start recording, I start getting hiccups, so bear with me. For next week, it looks like we've got wave B topped out, and we're heading lower with a lower degree impulse wave down into wave C. So we should expect 5 waves down in wave C, and we will confirm that with a break below 117.50 again. Okay, so that's the outlook in the short term, and this high at wave B should hold, so 119.17. Okay, so it's a similar pattern in cable, but we're further along. We're expecting declines this week. We got the declines. It looks like we have 5 waves down, or close to 5 waves down, complete off the high. So let's just update this 4-hour chart here. So it looks like we have wave D here underway. So that's wave A of D, then we'll get wave B of D, and then we'll get wave C of D. And for the moment, I have a kind of ballpark figure around the low of this internal B wave here. So about 120 to 122, let's call it. In around there, we should hit support for wave D to complete. That's no hard and fast targets like that. That's just kind of like where significant support is coming in. All right, I'm counting 5 waves down in wave A. It's not absolutely certain that we have wave A complete even yet, because this could be all an extension in wave 3. So this could be wave 3 here. So we could be tracing out maybe a triangle wave 4 and then have another drop in wave 5. But we'll just have to see how that goes early on in the week. If we get a reasonable rally back up towards that 130 level, that will indicate that wave B is underway, and we'll expect a 3-wave rally in wave B, probably complete by the end of next week. And if wave A pushes further lower, if we get that extension in wave 3, as I said, then we'll probably push out that timeline for wave B maybe into the next week. Okay. So for next week, we're going to, early on in the week, we're going to finish wave A, and then we're going to probably start wave B by the time the mid towards the end of the week comes. All right. Dollar yen is, again, it's just going sideways. The currency markets should be an indication. Well, in my mind, anyway, it's a definite indication of how unsure of the, let's say, the narrative that we've all bounced from, or we've bounced back out of this depression already. That the new bull market is back in place. Currency market says no. Bond market says no. Basically, currency has gone sideways for 2 years. In the case of Eurodollar, it's pretty much gone sideways. You could go all the way back to 2014, to be quite honest. We've just oscillated around that 115 level for 6 years now. So, there's nothing going on in the currency market. Pound dollar, it's gone sideways since 2016 as well. So 4 years. We've pretty much just ranged. Now, it is a wide range, but that range is continuing to contract. So, I wouldn't get too whoop-de-doo-dah about any sort of, major upturn anytime soon in economic terms, because currency markets definitely do not point that way. You can see in dollar yen. Dollar yen has pretty much gone sideways. You could put it all the way back to 2016 as well, since that B wave high. So we've just pretty much drifted sideways, and again, it just denotes, I would say, a kind of internal deflation, or an internal, at the very least, a slowdown in inflation, or a disinflation. So that would be a real slowdown in the acceleration factor of inflation. So there ain't no economic new rebirth going on. It's just a sideways grind, and we basically haven't plunged into the depths yet. That's what the currency market's telling me. That's definitely what the bond markets is saying anyway. Anyway, okay, let's move on to dollar yen. I'm looking at this long-term triangle dollar yen. The indications are that wave E is complete, but there is an alternate count that would allow one more drop in to complete wave E. The main reason for that alternate count is you could count this sideways move here at a very reasonably counted as a triangle. So it could be wave 1 down, wave 2 up, wave 3 down, fourth wave triangle, and wave 5 down, then complete wave C. For the moment, I'm going with a 3-wave decline to wave C, and the move off that is the beginning of an acceleration higher, but we'll have to wait and see on that front. Here you can see that's the alternate wave 4. We have some pretty tight targets here. If we get a break of 105.20 again, that will indicate that that will rule out the short-term bullish count. That will indicate that we're getting a further low in that triangle again in wave E. For the moment, I am tentatively bullish. We still have that rising set of higher lows, and if we do get a break of 106.50 again, that will indicate that wave 3 is underway. If we get a break of that 107.05 level, that could be a breakout into a larger to be third wave. So let's watch for that next week. Okay, the stock market is cooling off again, thank God, or for the first time in a while, let's say. So for the first time since June, the stock market is cooling off. I moved up this wave count this week. Basically a kind of, how would you say, a clerical maneuver, more or less, technical maneuver rather than anything else. So the move off the high it's tempting. It's very, 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 very tempting at the moment. It can be counted in a few ways. It could be a series of 1-2s, or it could be a developing 1-2, as I'm going to show you now in a second. But this weakness that has been displayed is very tempting. Okay. here is the current interpretation. We have possible 5-wave move down, an A, B, C underway in wave 2. I'm calling this a 5-wave move down. This could be a 4th wave triangle. You could also call this, which is the, let's say, fly in the ointment. You could also call this a 3-wave decline in a possible 4th wave. The action is certainly in the favor of the bearish side at the moment, because we seem to be within a 3-wave pattern correction to the upside, targeting that previous 4th wave. It could be a running flat 4th wave. But for the moment, I'm going to allow for a run up in wave C to complete wave 2, and that would come in around 28,350, 28,400. And then weakness of that point could indicate a 3rd wave decline. So we could get ready for that. That's about it in the stock market. It's kind of edge of the seat at the moment. Pretty clearly defined levels where we get some confirmation. So I'll be watching that like a hawk this week if I were you. Okay, gold. Here's another one that we should watch like a hawk this week. The 4-hour chart. I still am leaning towards a larger decline in a larger 4th wave here in blue. If that's the case, then we would most likely get another decline in a 5-wave move lower. And that will, if you get out to the daily chart here, that will give us a correction in line with the size of the correction in wave 2 here back in 2017, early 18. So that was an almost a year and a half sideways move, and then we started moving up then into wave 3. We've only had, we've only been correcting now for a month. So we have a little bit to go if this is a 4th wave. And we may have a pretty significant drop on our hands if this is this 4th wave in blue here also. So I'd be watching. I'm still very cautious in gold at the moment. I am a long-term bull. You've been watching these videos for a while. If you've been watching these videos for years, then you know that I've been a long-term bull on gold, but I am, let's say, a little bit cautious right at the moment. So stick that in your pipe. Okay, the hourly chart shows a possible triangle within, well, initial move lower in wave A, possible triangle in wave B, and maybe next week we get a decline into wave C. Now, there is an alternate count for, on the short term, for a triangle wave 4 and 5 to complete wave 3. So this wave 3 here in blue is the one that I've been watching. Is the one that we've been calling the top in. We're looking for a decline in wave 4 in blue. Now, maybe wave 3 is not complete yet. This could be a triangle wave 4 of a 5-wave move up in wave 3. So I will have to allow for that if we get a challenge of these previous highs here. So initially 1992 is the first level to watch, 1990 in general. If we get a break of that level, then we should probably switch to this short-term bullish run up in wave 5 of 3, and then look for wave 4 come in. And that could be, later on in October or something like that. But for the moment, the current count is solid until we get action that goes against it, and nothing has gone against it so far. So let's see how that runs out next week. If we get a break below 1905, then we are targeting down around 1745. So $150 decline, $160 decline. And it could go further than that. So we'll have to. Oh, yeah. Now this could be wave A of 4, or it could be wave 4 all in. But I'm taking that as it comes. I'm not going to call that right now. Let's see how that works out. Initially, want to see the fallout from this triangle, and be that either bullish or bearish, we'll know this week. Okay, crude oil has come off the high that we have been talking about for a while. I know that reflation effort just hit a complete brick wall back in June, and we went absolutely sideways for a full 2 months, and actually nearly even 3 months. Yeah, early June up to early September, 3 months, we went nowhere, and then we fell off a cliff last week. So, were we looking for that decline? Yes. Is it a 5-wave decline? Yes. What's happening now? Possibly a corrective lower high building in a second wave. That's been a nice move lower. We're targeting about that 50% retracement level, so up around the $40 mark. Price would probably hit the upper trend line there around 39.50 or so. So we look for an ABC up to complete wave 2, and we'll play off that again on wave 2. That would be an interesting, if we saw a weakness off that upper trend line, that would be an interesting play to the downside in a possible third wave. Okay, so crude oil is looking long-term weak at the moment. It looks like the tables have turned. Okay, S&P looking for this decline to come in for a while. The current labeling, again, more kids crying below. Actually, that's life. Looking for. I'm trying to talk, think, and talk while there's a kid screaming downstairs. Wave B, if this is wave B or the larger degree wave B I've shown here, so either in red or in black, then we would expect a decline in wave C. So the initial decline off the high is labeled at a lower degree, but it probably should be moved up, to be honest. Now, it's a similar pattern to the Dow at the moment, and we seem to be within the throes of a second wave correction. I've marked here this 33.75 on my chart. Now, it's slightly different if you're working with a cash chart. But we got a bounce off probably a 3-wave decline in wave B. We got a bounce on Friday evening, so that could suggest that we are seeing wave C now underway. If we get a break at that 33.75 level, then that will probably point up to 34.40 to complete wave 2, and then we'd look for wave 3 down again. So next week is looking at the completion of a bearish impulse wave. Okay, silver. Here again, we'll just move on my charts a bit. Here again, possibility of a second wave coming in silver. It's not quite a triangle as we've seen in gold. It could be. I mean, you could push it into that box. It has gone pretty much sideways. It's gone pretty much sideways over the last, let's say, month. So it could go A down, B up, C, D, and E, maybe. Or we're looking at A down, and maybe the development of a triangle off the wave A low. So that could be wave A down, then A, B, C, D, E, triangle, wave C. So it's all to play for now, actually, in silver. And price compressions like this usually give way to explosive move in either direction. So my money is still on the downside. Looks like we've got 3 waves down in A, 3 waves up in B. So wave B came as a 3 triangle 5-wave move to complete a 335 move in B, and we are eyeing up a 5-wave decline in wave C. So if we get a decline above this, or sorry, below 25.80 again, that will signal wave 3 down is underway. So I'm still looking down in silver. Okay, Bitcoin. There is the possibility that we're moving up into a first wave in Bitcoin. Let's say 4-hour chart here. I should go to the daily chart because an ABC move on the daily chart with a possible 5-wave move underway in wave C. So we might have hit a low in 4th wave and we're heading up into a 5th wave. That'd be that low here in 4th wave. And it's 3 waves down and it completed with a 5-wave move to the downside. So we could probably test the upper ends of the 1300, sorry, at 13,000 level, so 13,830. God knows why someone would pay 13,000 for nothing, but that's the world we live in. Let's get to the hourly chart here. So we have a 3-wave decline. Maybe this C wave here is still underway. So if this is a corrective move, then we get one more dip below 9840 or 9800 maybe. Maybe that will complete wave 4, but I'm still working with these charts and trying to find the best fit pattern. So far, this ABC move has worked out quite well, and we're close to a 4th wave low, and maybe we'll push higher than in a 5th wave. Okay, FTSE has been a bit of a conundrum actually of late. Possibly. Yes, I'm just doing some work here. Yeah. You let me do my work nice and quietly?
Yeah. Okay. I'll throw away the paper.
Now, so we've got a possible triangle here in a 4th wave. I'll get out to the daily chart and I'll show you. This is a 4th wave that I've been kind of working with. This is the previous high. But on further investigation, it could be a triangle that's developing. We could have an AB of a triangle, and then we continue to contract over the next week or so to complete a 4th wave. I do want to see a 5th wave down come in pretty soon to complete wave 3. So we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to complete wave 3 down. Okay, so let's move on. Nasdaq. The Nasdaq has moved pretty viciously down off the high. Of course, nobody's bearish the Nasdaq. We had this nice tightening wedge here pattern. We hit the upper trend channel line and we just capitulated completely. So now we are playing below the lower trend line and correcting at the moment. So it's very possible that we have the all-time high, final high complete in the Nasdaq. I'll try to work. Okay. Give me a minute. Thank you. Now, wave 1, or the hourly chart. Here is a possible wave 1-2 scenario. It's clearer in the Nasdaq, and that is why, seen as tech stocks were the leader on the way up, and they seem to pull everything else up with it. It should be the leader on the way down, and that seems to be the way it's working right now. On my chart, we have a pretty clear 5-wave pattern to the downside. We have a nice compression in wave 4, and then a 5th wave decline out of that. At the moment, we're just kind of drifting sideways. It seems to be a possible zigzag move, so it could be 5 up in A, 3 down in B, and then 5 up to finish wave C of 2, up around the 50%. So that's, again, targeting about 11,670, 11,700 maybe. And then we should prepare for a pretty large spill down in the 3rd wave. So early next week, looking for a completion of the 2nd wave. And a spill. It could be a type of waterfall move down into a 3rd wave. Thank you. Okay, I'm saying thank you to my 3-year-old. All right, Hong Kong. I haven't dived completely into this chart or this market, but I am keeping an eye on it because it does indicate what's happening. It does. It's a pretty clear indication of what is happening over in South China, the Chinese economy, obviously the Hong Kong economy. We had, I was going over this recently with a friend. We had a series of 3 waves to the upside and a series of significant declines off 3-wave moves. So what are we looking at here? Significant decline followed by a 3-wave move up into the 2020 high there in July. Significant decline off that move, and then again a 3-wave move up, and now again a significant decline. So what is this pointing to? It's pointing to a series of lower degree impulse waves. So we could be looking at a matching decline, let's say, that we faced in February and March, happening again in Hong Kong. You can see this is a smaller degree 3-wave move up, corrective move up, significant decline that may not be finished quite yet. We could have a series of triangles here if I mark them. Followed by a dip lower. That could be an ending diagonal. It could be another triangle underway if this is a higher degree triangle. Then we could, let's say, create a pinch point on Monday evening, Tuesday, and then spill lower again. So we'd have to watch this for the completion of a 5-wave move lower early next week. And that might kind of spell the end for the recovery in Hong Kong. Okay, that does it. Forgive the intrusion by Madam here behind me. I'll see you on the website on Monday evening. We'll go over, do it all again, if I'm alive, that is. And to all you guys watching on YouTube, thank you, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one. God bless you all, and stay. I'm not going to say that. Be good, and have a great weekend. Bye bye. God bless.